Hello, I am Ishan. I'm the one that made this campaign, and now I'm getting bullied to posting a tutorial on how I did this. So I'm gonna take you straight to the copy, then how I built it in Clay, then I'm gonna take you to Smart Leads and how I set up the campaign, and finally launching it. And if you have any questions or feedback, most likely, because this is the first time I'm doing this, I'm not perfect and want to get there someday. So if you have any feedback, please let me know and assume as if you've paid for this content. So ask questions that you normally wouldn't ask because assume that you paid for it and you want to learn how you can do this for yourself. Okay, so this was basically we build out all our copywriting in Whimsical. It helps us track it easier, and we can build our campaigns much faster this way. Reason being, you can generate flows. So if you notice, based on LinkedIn activity, it separates into two different copies, and we ideally want that because the people who get the first email need to be followed through to the fourth email as well, because then it's a uniform way of testing if the campaign worked or not. Okay, first email. Let's walk through what could be the past, like what could be the possible variables in this. So first name, website, and it looks like this is AI generated. I scrolled down, I thought how great it would be. Actually build this video out, and Travis can build this out. Okay, this is basically a comment. This is not something that we sent out. Um, but if you notice criteria that we really care about the most, one is it relevant, and two, is it personalized. The test of personalized is if this email was sent to anybody else, would it still make sense? And based on where it lies on the spectrum, that's how personalized it is. If it would make no sense at all to someone else other than that person you're sending out to, then it's the most personalized email ever. And if it's somewhat applicable to a large chunk of humanity, then it's generic. And you want to be somewhere in the middle or towards the right end of the spectrum where it's really personalized. Cool. um, I'll walk you how I made this. I think first name, everyone knows how you get that from a lead list. Then the second email is, hey, first name, I spent a little more time looking at your website. So I wanted to quickly recommend three ways. Three ways is again AI generated. I'll share the prompt and I'll walk you through how I tested it out. Then email three is based on the new filter that Clay launched, that is LinkedIn post. So we're looking at LinkedIn posts from their company, and we're mentioning the date when they posted last. So LinkedIn 23rd of March 2024, or LinkedIn 23rd of March 2023, more realistically. Hey, first name, I couldn't stop thinking about how amazing it would be to partner up with you company, and the last product announcement on your LinkedIn page was on date. Now, I have no way to test without using Clayagent or AI if it was a product announcement or not, but I just used this here, was on date XYZ. In my experience, product updates and partnership announcements are a great way to get more users. Have you tried partnering with other AI companies? So it's taking a step back. First, let's see if they are open to the idea, and taking a step back, if they're open to the idea of partnering up with other AI companies or they've tried that in the past. Because it's likely if they've tried it with other AI companies, they either got burned and didn't get any leads, or most likely they partnered up, made a post, and they got a bunch of more users. And that's the more likely scenario that I'm running with. We recently ran a play where we reached out to everyone who commented on a post. Would you want to see if we can deliver similar results for you? And in case they don't have a LinkedIn post or like relatively less activity, hey, first name, I saw that there were no posts on your company LinkedIn page in the last year. In my experience, product updates and partnership announcements are a great way to get more users. Have you tried partnering with the other AI companies? If you notice, the CTA or the question remains the same, and the ask is also something similar, but it changes. We recently ran a play where we reached out to everyone who commented on our post with a personalized video. With Tavis, you would only need to make it once. Would you like me to show how I do it? And this is something I learned from Alex Hermosi. Don't tell people how you want to do them stuff. Don't tell people how you want them to do stuff for you. Like, tell them how you did it, and that's how you succeeded. Because otherwise, people can challenge you. No, this won't work. No, this won't. Industry is different. Cold calling doesn't work in my persona. Nobody picks up the calls. Just tell them how you did it or how you were able to make it happen, and people can't challenge you on it because you did it. So cool. Email 4. Hey, first name, your last company post got X number of comments and X number of reactions. If it's zero, we just change it to no. So got no comments and no reactions, but we won't reach out to them then. If you were to reach out to all of them with a personalized video, I bet 10% or more would become users. That would take you at least number of reactions plus comments into five, at least 5 minutes to send them to a 3 to 4 minute video. I'll walk you through this, how I built this formula out. With Tavis, you would only need to make it once. Would you like me to show how I do it? PS, I scraped all of them to write this email. Let me know if you'd want me to send it over. This is based on the post, and scraping after the reply to me, I can scrape from their LinkedIn post and have it ready. Like, it's not something that's a deal breaker. Hey, first name, if you were to start posting on LinkedIn regularly and reach out to all of them with a personalized video, I bet 10% or more would become users. That would take you at least 10 minutes to send them a 3 to 4 minute personalized video per prospect. I think I changed it out in the end, in the final copy and play. With Tavis, you would only need to make it once. Would you like me to show you how I do it? In case you don't want to post on LinkedIn, you can use people who engage with somebody else's post to send personalized videos. And that's an interesting angle, right? Because if you don't want to send out videos because you're building stuff out and you don't have the time to build videos, and most technical founders are camera shy, so they don't want to put their face out there, usually what I've seen. So in that case, you can just use somebody else's popularity or somebody else's posts that you think your ICP would be drawn to, and scrape that and send them personalized videos. That would also work. So let me take you over to Chloe and show you how I did it. Cool. So this is a list of lookalike companies that based on the AI companies reached out in the past who had good engagement with our emails. The idea is similar to how you would run Facebook ads. If you have a good persona or a good lookalike of the people you're reaching out to, then you can sort of build it up again. So based on this list of lookalike companies, what we did was we just need, if you look back at the Tavis board, you just need what the company does and how we can help them with our product. So we just used a Claygen prompt for that. I'll copy this into the LinkedIn post so that you can see it. Um, yeah. So if you just take a deep breath, I've seen this work. It helps out a lot in the results that it gives you. Visit the website, then I pass the domains and generate a sentence summarizing what the company does. Use grade 7 level English. If you want to be, you can also test it out with use grade 3 level English, because if you are reaching out to, let's say, a Marcy email campaign, you can test it out with use grade 3 level English. These people are working in AI. I figure they have like a good education background, so that's why we use 10 level English. Keep the output under 10 words and use specific keywords from the input. Start the sentence with my prefix, and this is important because you want it to be consistent, because the grammar of your email will follow something similar. I was on your site and saw you, and then we give it plenty of examples. And then at the end, double check your answer, ensure that it starts with I was on your site and saw you, because it's difficult for it to retain that context. Cool. And then we ran it for 3,944 rows. And if you notice, all of them start with I was on your site, I was on your site and saw you. So consistency. And we also did a couple of filters to see if the check was done. Um, this is something else. We can forget about this for a moment. Yeah, so that was for another campaign that we're going to run for the same amount of companies. Then we're finding their most recent posts. We're looking at what their post was, the number of reactions it got, the number of comments it got, and then the date of the post. Then we're using a formula, just use it into like a readable format. I wanted to format date of post into a readable date like 12th of March 2024, and then it does that. Um, like, this is great. Then number of comments. If URL post is not empty, that is, if they have a post and comment is empty, then return no. So if they have a post and nobody commented on it, give me no. Else return the number of comments the post got. Then number of reactions has something similar. If 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 you have a post and you didn't get any reactions on it, then return no. Else return the number of reactions you got. And it's important because that's how it ties up into our copy. Got no comments and no reactions, or got no comments and 34 reactions, and that's how This copy reads. Then the number of minutes. This is that most people would like to know. If reaction count plus comment count is greater than 20, but you need to be careful of the brackets here. I forgot to put it inside, but you can put it in the formula as well. Put those brackets there. And if it's greater than 20, 20 is an arbitrary number. I changed it in the formula if you see it below. I just changed it in the formula. I didn't update the generate formula section. Then return reaction count plus comment count into 5. Um, and why 15? Because 15 times 5 is greater than 60. And ideally, we want to be reaching out to people who would spend more than an hour doing this out manually themselves. And that's why we use 15, and that's the formula that you get for minutes. Once you have number of minutes, you can just change it to something that's more readable. Only run if number of minutes is greater than 0. Convert number of minutes into hours and minutes. Perfect. If there's 0, just give back null, otherwise it's 0. Then we find people, and finally video prospecting ideas. This is what you get as the output, and what we're telling it in the prompt. Using the input, create 3 bullet points of ways the company can use personalized videos on the web page and emails. Based on what your use case is, if you're going to use this prompt, change this section, and then give them the input of the company description from the LinkedIn page and the result that you made if you made using the AI prompt of what the company does from the web page. And using these two inputs, it can give you accurate results. Be specific and give unique advice. Keep each bullet under 15 words and take an extra moment to think of good video prospecting strategies that they may not have thought of and have a high degree of success. And then I just like brute forced through all the examples. And an AI role, assume you're an experienced growth expert and you're hired to help the company grow their users. And that's why you're reaching out with something like this. The creativity level is 0.25. I've not tested it out completely on how creativity level makes a difference, but while I was trying it out, 0.25 gave me accurate results based on what I wanted. Cool. This is the company table. Why do we run this on a company table? Because assume you're reaching out to 10 different people in the company. Then out of 4,000 companies, 4 times 10, that's 40,000 people you'll be reaching out to. So if you are generating this section or this section of the email later on in the campaign, you're just doing that at 10 times the cost of what it would cost you to do it before for the people that we're reaching out to. And once the once the people are imported, we have all their first names. Like this is something that we need to start the email. Then we find their work emails, because if you do all the personalization stuff beforehand and afterwards you find their work emails, you're like, I wasted all these credits and I can't even send them an email because I don't have their email. And we don't have an email validator here because we're using something called 1 million verifier. And what 1 million verifier does is it connects to your smart lead account and it just verifies before sending it out. So it would be like redundant to have a verifier here because we've already paid for an email verifier later on. Cool. Now email one, you just type it out like this. Hey, first name, and then the result you got for I was on your site and saw XYZ. Perfect. And then the email reads something like this. Hi Sanjay, I was on your website and saw you're a travel marketing platform. Cool. Cool. Hey Elizabeth, I was on your site and saw you automate legal processes with AI. I scroll down. Perfect. Hey Mandy, I was on your site and saw you provide technology solutions for healthcare efficiency and patient care. Let's see. Oh, that's bad email. Okay. Hey Isaac, I was on your site and saw you provide technology solutions for healthcare. Well, that's because the same company. See, otherwise it would have to run it for 3 other people. So that's why we do that. Cool. Um, hey Jamie, I was on your site and saw you provide AI solutions for document understanding. Like not the perfect, but fine enough. Then what we're doing here is sometimes AI gives you responses but adds stuff that you don't necessarily want, like these double star cases and asterisks. You don't want that. So remove any additional character except full stop and comma, but keep the line breaks. And once it's clean, then we can go on to email 2. Hey Tracy, I spent a little more time looking at your website, so I wanted to quickly recommend 3 ways I think you can use Tavis. One, highlight success stories, create personalized videos showcasing successful hires, detailing their journey and growth in the company. Do any of these ideas seem interesting to you? And that's the second email. Then email 3, and email 3, nice. Hey Eileen, I couldn't stop thinking about how amazing it would be to partner up with you. I looked into your company and the last post on your LinkedIn page was on 16th of January 2024. In my experience, product updates and partnership announcements are a great way to get more users. Have you tried partnering with other AI companies? Perfect. And if you notice email 4, hey Eileen, your last company post got no comments and 158 reactions. If you were to reach out to all of them with a personalized video, I bet 10% or more would become users. That would take you 13 hours and 10 minutes at least to send them a 3 to 4 minute video. And that's exactly why we wanted to run it like that. Cool. If they don't have a if they don't have a LinkedIn post that we can use, you can just send this. This is not very personalized, but it's relevant. Like this can be sent to a lot of people without them noticing. Cool. And this is the test. Have a LinkedIn post, and if the time taken to make videos is not empty, that's why we want it to be true and false. Because based on this check mark, we decide which campaign to send them to. Now, I was an idiot here. I didn't like it didn't occur to me that I could use the subject line from Clay. So I could just make the subject line for everyone. I could have run this in one campaign, but I think it's better for data now that we have done it this way. But essentially, I just wanted to have different subject lines for the different emails I was sending out. And the first email was LinkedIn and date. And for the people, it would be no LinkedIn engagement. Yeah. Let me know if this is something you found interesting, or you'd like me to make more posts like this, or if you'd like me to make explainer videos on how to think about these things. And this is important, by the way. Um, Whenever you run a different version, email 4, you need to have a merge column because when you're pushing them to smart leads, you're using placeholders like where's the custom fields here? Email 1, email 2, email 3, email 4. And if you don't have anything, it'll just send out a blank email. That's why it's important to have a merge column, because technically you can also run conditions where conditional formula have a LinkedIn post, but it's just safer to do it that way. Like you could have just run this only if this was true and if this was empty, but it's far better to do it that this way, I think. What was the last thing? Yeah, I wanted to show you how it ran on Smart Leads. Once you are into Smart Leads, and let's just and you created a campaign. Once you start creating a campaign, you'll get something like this. It'll be untitled. Make that name it however you want, and go on to sequences and type in the subject that you want. Then just put in email 1, then number of days you want it, email 2, then number of how many days you want to wait, then no LinkedIn engagement, and just put in email 3 and email 4. And with the settings, this is the settings that I have. You can change it based on which industry you are in or however you want it to. And then that's it. That's the setup. And then we choose the sender accounts, schedule a campaign, and that's it. Cool. And you can see random ones. Cool. Hey Chad, I was right on your site and saw you're a real-time database for analytics on time series and spatial data. Very complicated stuff. Let's go on to email 2. I spent a little more time looking at your website. This is how you can use our product. Then email 3. I couldn't stop thinking about how amazing it would be. Last post was on 8th of November 2023. And then, yeah, so their post didn't get a lot of engagement. That's why it says no LinkedIn engagement. Even though they have a post, the people like didn't react to it enough or comment on it enough for it to be worthwhile. So if you, what's this guy's name? Let's CMELEY. Cool. So if you notice, Chad Mealy, Cmeley, works at Kinetica. And if you were to look into Kinetica, this company hasn't posted in a while, most likely. So if you notice, this was the post that it found. Kinetica re-engineered data. You can look into it later. But this is the problem. They only got 15 reactions on it. So if it would have to be, if it would have been more than 15, then they would have received a different email. So if you were to look at data pattern, these guys have 52 plus 4, 52 plus 2, that's 54. 54 is greater than 15, and that's why they would have received something like you got 52 comments and 52 reactions and 2 comments. If you were to reach out to all of them with the personalized video, to take you 54 into 5 and then convert it into hours and minutes, X amount of time to reach out to them, and 10% of them would convert. And that's the difference. Cool. And that's how everything is done. Let me know if you found this useful. Eagerly looking for your feedback. Take care. Bye bye.